Honey, where did you take Jack? It's almost dinner time. You said you were just going out for a bit this morning, but I haven't heard from you all day. Is everything okay?
Jack's fine. He's with me at my parents' house. We'll have dinner here and come back later. I'm sure Jack prefers my mom's cooking to your bland meals anyway. Besides, he needs to get used to our family's flavors if he's going to take over the business someday.
Your parents' house? You could have told me that earlier.
I left when you were hanging laundry upstairs. Didn't have time to explain properly. But I'm pretty sure I mentioned that I was going to my parents when I left.
I didn't hear that.
There's a family gathering, and I brought Jack along.
A family gathering? I didn't hear about that either.
You didn't need to come. It's just for me and Jack, the future heirs. Dad's retiring this year, and I'm taking over next year. I told the relatives about it.
Wait, what? You're taking over next year? This is the first time I'm hearing of this.
You never asked.
No, you should have told me about something this important. What about your current job?
I'm just quitting. I've already informed the company.
Why wasn't I told about this?
I told you, you never asked. We've always talked about me eventually taking over Dad's real estate business and managing the family properties.
I knew about that, but I never heard when it was happening.
Dad decided it's time for him to step down now that I'm over 40. We announced it to the relatives along with Jack being the future heir. The kid was surprised.
Of course he was surprised. He's barely turning 21 next month. He's still in college. It's natural for him to be shocked about suddenly being named an heir.
As the eldest son, I always knew this would happen.
But you have a brother, and your parents said it wasn't decided which of you would take over. I thought this was still far in the future.
Jack's becoming an adult, so the timing is perfect. He'll work under me as soon as he graduates. He's our only son and our important heir.
Jack wants to go into research. He's aiming for a job at a pharmaceutical research lab.
That's too bad. Jack's my son. It's been decided since he was born that he'd take over the real estate company and manage our family properties.
But you've been doing your own thing all this time. You don't even work in real estate. Are you sure you can handle taking over your dad's business?
Unlike you, who lives carelessly day to day, I've been planning for the future. I've been studying and getting qualifications to take over the real estate business.
Really? I've never seen you studying at home.
I studied outside, obviously. There are schools for adults. I spent good money on private tutors to learn everything.
I had no idea. Why didn't you ever mention this to me? We're supposed to be partners, Robert.
Partners? Don't make me laugh. I make the important decisions in this family.
That's not how a marriage works. We should be making these choices together, especially when they involve Jack's future.
You wouldn't understand. This is about legacy, about carrying on the family name and business.
And what about Jack's wishes? His dreams? Don't they matter?
He's young. He doesn't know what's best for him yet.
He's not a child anymore, Robert. He's old enough to have a say in his own future.
You've always coddled him too much. It's time he grew up and faced reality.
Reality? You mean your reality? Where everyone just falls in line with your plans?
My plans are for the good of this family. You should be grateful.
Ungrateful for you making unilateral decisions that affect all of our lives?
Yes, grateful. I'm securing our future and Jack's future.
This isn't right, Robert. We need to talk about this as a family when you get back.
There's nothing to talk about. It's done.
It's not done. Not until we all agree.
You're being ridiculous. I'm not discussing this anymore. It's all settled. You better prepare yourself. Jack and I will stay here tonight and come back tomorrow.
Oh, but Robert, I really think we should discuss this more. It's a big decision that affects our whole family.
There's nothing to discuss. It's been decided. We don't need dinner. I'll call when we're on our way back tomorrow.
But what about Jack's dreams? His studies? He's passionate about research.
He'll learn to be passionate about real estate. It's a family tradition.
Can't we at least talk about it as a family when you both get back?
No need. I've already explained everything to Jack. He understands his responsibilities.
I'm not sure he does. He's never mentioned wanting to join the family business before.
That's because you never asked him about it. You're always too focused on your own things.
That's not fair. I've always been supportive of Jack's interests.
Well, his interests are changing now. He's growing up.
Can I at least talk to him?
He's busy with the relatives now. I'll have him call you later.
Please do. I'm worried about him.
There's nothing to worry about. He's with family.
But I'm his family too, Robert.
You're being dramatic. We'll be back tomorrow. That's final.
Alright, please tell Jack I love him.
Fine.
Robert, I can't believe you're doing this. We've been married for 20 years, and you've never once mentioned these plans to me.
That's because you've never shown any interest in the family business. You've always been too focused on your own career.
That's not true, and you know it. I've always supported you and Jack in everything you do.
Support? You call constantly pushing Jack towards research support?
I'm not pushing him. I'm encouraging him to follow his passion. Isn't that what parents are supposed to do?
Parents are supposed to prepare their children for the future, and Jack's future is in real estate, whether he knows it yet or not.
You can't just decide his entire life for him, Robert. He's his own person.
He's my son and he'll do as I say. End of discussion.
This isn't over, Robert. We'll talk about this when you get home.
There's nothing to talk about. The decision has been made.
Jack, how was your 21st birthday celebration? I'll be home at the usual time of work, but if you're going out with friends, feel free to eat out.
I just got back from the celebration. I'm heading out for dinner with some old classmates.
Don't go too wild, okay? Your father and I aren't great with alcohol, so you probably inherited that.
I know. I learned my limits on my 20th birthday. By the way, Mom, did something happen with Dad?
What do you mean? Like a fight?
Maybe Dad's just going off on his own again, but did something happen? He's doing a big clean-out saying he needs to organize things.
A clean-out? We just did spring cleaning. Why now?
I wondered that too, so I asked him, and he said he's throwing out unnecessary things. Something about preparing for the new fiscal year.
Unnecessary things? I don't think we have much that's unnecessary. Is he throwing out his own stuff too?
That's the thing. I tried to stop him, but it looks like it's all yours. If anything, he's piling up all of your things at the front door.
My things?
Aren't these your clothes and the books you've been collecting?
Yes, they are. Why are they piled up like this? They're not unnecessary at all.
He didn't ask you about this, did he? I told Dad to wait until you got home so you could sort through things together, but he insists that as the head of the household, he gets to decide what's unnecessary. He's not listening to me and keeps piling up your stuff.
What should I do? I can't leave work right now.
I'll try to stop him again, but you know how Dad is when he won't listen. It's like that time he dragged me to that family gathering the other week.
Wait, what? The family gathering you went to with your father last month. He forced you to go?
Yeah, that one. I had plans with friends, but he suddenly told me we were going out. I didn't even know we'd be staying overnight. It was a real shock.
I see. Well, about these belongings of mine, could you at least rescue the books without your father noticing?
Sure, I'll do that. I know how much you cherish that collection, and they might get creased like this. I'm afraid if I say anything more, Dad might just throw everything out right away. Sorry, I can't save more than the books.
It's okay. I'll try to contact your father to see what he's thinking. You have plans with your friends, so don't worry and go when it's the time.
All right, but Mom, I'm really worried about what's going on. Dad's been acting strange ever since that family gathering.
I know, sweetie. I'm worried too. Can you tell me more about what happened at the gathering? I feel like I'm missing something important.
It was uncomfortable. Dad kept talking about me taking over the family business, but I've never wanted that. I tried to tell him, but he wouldn't listen.
Oh, Jack, I'm so sorry. I had no idea it was that bad.
It's not your fault, Mom. Dad's the one who's being unreasonable.
Still, I feel like I should have known. I should have protected you more.
You've always protected me, Mom. That's why I'm telling you about this now.
Thank you for trusting me, sweetheart. We'll figure this out together, okay?
Thanks, Mom. I really appreciate it. But what about your things? I feel terrible just leaving them there.
Don't worry about that now. Your safety and happiness are more important to me than any material possessions. We'll sort this out, I promise.
Okay, Mom. I love you.
I love you too, Jack. Happy birthday. Try to enjoy your dinner with your friends. We'll talk more later.
I'll try. Thanks, Mom.
Honey, Jack told me you're piling up my things at the front door. What's going on? Why are you doing this?
Isn't it obvious? Your stuff is no longer needed.
What do you mean? You don't get to decide on the lottery what's needed or not needed of my things.
Today was Jack's 21st birthday, right?
Yes, but what does that have to do with anything?
I've been waiting for this day for so long.
Huh?
The day I could finally kick you out of the house.
Kick me out? What are you talking about?
You must have sensed it by now. I've always hated you, but I endured being your husband for 20 years, solely waiting for my heir, Jack, to become an adult. Now that he's a grown man, he doesn't need a mother anymore.
Wait a minute. What on earth are you saying?
You were just a convenient housekeeper to raise my heir.
What?
I've always had someone else in my heart, but she couldn't have children. I needed a child to inherit my father's business and assets. Our family has a long lineage, so having a child to continue it would make it easier for my father to hand things over.
Someone else in your heart? You mean you've had someone else all along?
My true love has been and always will be her alone. What I needed was a self-sufficient woman with a job who could bear and raise a child, earn money, and do housework.
No way! You married me just to have and raise an heir?
What other use did you have? You conveniently worked hard, too. The plan was to wait until Jack was independent, divorce you, and marry her.
So, you've never had any feelings from me from the start?
Your role is over. I'm preparing to enter a new phase to take over the family business, and before that, I want to clean up this fake marriage. I've gathered all your belongings at the entrance, so take them and leave. I've left the divorce papers there too, so sign them.
This is too much.
She studied real estate before me, has qualifications, and taught me the knowledge. She'll support me properly as I take over my father's business. Unlike you, she can support me in my work. She'll be my partner in both private and professional life.
So the previous tutor was your true love all along. Isn't that cheating?
Don't be ridiculous. You were never my girlfriend. I should be asking for compensation for putting up with you for 20 years. Thanks for the childcare. You've served your purpose. Now disappear.
I see. All right.
You're being unexpectedly obedient. If you're not gonna make a scene, then that's perfectly fine with me. Jack's an adult now, so things like parental rights and child support don't matter. Just leave the house, alone and lonely.
Robert, I can't believe what I'm hearing. 20 years of marriage, and this is how you really feel?
Don't act surprised. You must have known deep down that this wasn't a real marriage.
No, I didn't know. I loved you, Robert. I thought we had built a life together.
Well, you thought wrong. It was all part of the plan.
And Jack? Was he just a pawn in your plan too?
Jack is my heir. That's all that matters.
He's our son, Robert. A human being with his own dreams and aspirations.
His dream should be to take over the family business. That's what he was born for.
You can't decide someone's entire life for them.
I can and I have. It's done, Emily. Pack your things and leave.
What about all the memories we've shared? The good times?
They meant nothing to me. It was all an act.
I can't believe this. All these years.
Believe it! Now are you gonna leave quietly, or do I need to throw you out myself?
You wouldn't dare.
Try me. I've waited 20 years for this moment. Don't test my patience now.
Fine, I'll go, but this isn't over, Robert. You can't treat people like this and expect to get away with it.
Watch me. Goodbye, Emily. Don't forget to sign the divorce papers on your way out.
You'll regret this, Robert. Mark my words.
The only thing I regret is not doing this sooner. Now get out of my house.
Our house, Robert. Or have you forgotten that too?
It doesn't matter. It'll be mine soon enough.
We'll see about that. You're not the only one who can make plans, Robert.
What's that supposed to mean? You have nothing. No power, no influence, nothing.
You'll be surprised what I'm capable of. You've underestimated me for 20 years. That ends now.
Empty threats. Just leave quietly and we can both move on with our lives.
Move on? After you've lied to me for 2 decades? Used me? Used our son?
It's business, Emily, nothing personal.
Nothing personal. This is our family.
Was our family. Now it's just me and Jack. And soon it'll be me, Jack, and my true love.
You're delusional if you think Jack will go along with this.
He doesn't have a choice. He's my son, my heir.
He's his own person, Robert. You'll learn that soon enough.
Enough of this. I want you gone by the time I get home. Is that clear?
Crystal clear. Goodbye, Robert. I hope it was worth it.
What have you done? Don't ignore me. Answer the phone immediately. I know you did something.
What was it now? I submitted the divorce papers last week and finished moving out. Don't you have no more use for me?
Where's Jack? I came back from a company training at my parents' house, and when I got home, Jack's not here and his stuff is gone.
Well, Jack decided on his own to move out and away from you. We finished moving yesterday.
What? What do you mean?
We moved yesterday. I helped with finding a new place, the contract, and unpacking. Didn't your son tell you anything?
Wait a minute. Why would Jack move out?
Isn't it because I left?
How does that make any sense?
And after I had to leave, Jack said he wanted to leave too and cut ties with you. He found a new place closer to his university on his own. Since he's a student, having a parent there made the contract process easier.
But why? He's my heir!
Jack wants to be a researcher, but you didn't listen and just decided he'd be your ear. Then, you suddenly introduced a strange woman as his new mother and kept bad-mouthing his real mother. He was exhausted by it all. That's why he decided to take my maiden name.
Wait a second. He's my child. Why would he take your maiden name after we're divorced?
Because he doesn't want to be your heir, obviously. He said he wanted to live as my child, not yours. He's an adult now, so I told him to do as he likes. He seems to have researched it thoroughly. He's preparing to file for a name change with the family court.
If he does that, I won't have anyone to take over after me. I'm about to inherit the business.
This is Jack's choice. He's an adult now, so we as parents can't force or supervise him anymore. This is his life and his decision.
But
Jack has always been a proactive kid. He must have had a lot of thought seeing your behavior. He decided on the new place in the family court matter on his own and acted quickly. Now that Jack and I are gone, you can enjoy your newly wedded life with your true love. I wish you both happiness.
Wait. At least tell him to give us a chance to talk as a family. He's not answering my calls. Please. What did you do? Why has the house been sold? You don't have that authority. I was planning to sell it next year after moving to my parents' house with my girlfriend.
For someone who's going to inherit a real estate company, you didn't even check the property rights for the house you're living in?
What do you mean?
It's not yours.
Impossible!
Do you remember buying it yourself?
That house was given to me by my father, wasn't it?
You forgot it. When I was pregnant and we found out it was a boy, your father gifted the house to us. At the time, it was still in your father's name, and it was a gift for Jack. We talked about changing the name to Jack when he became an adult.
That's right, damn it!
So we changed the name on Jack's birthday, but you weren't there for his birthday celebration because you had plans with a friend. I wonder if you were with your true love then.
That's...
The house you selfishly living in now belongs to Jack, and he sold it to a real estate agency himself.
Without consulting me at all?
He did consult your father, though. He's a professional, after all.
He consulted with my father?
He said he reported everything to your father himself, about changing his surname, his future dreams. Your father supported Jack and encouraged him to pursue his goals if he had the ability.
So this house has really been sold?
What do you mean? You should have started preparing to move out soon.
How dare you! I've been looking forward to living with my girlfriend for years! You've ruined everything!
Also, I heard this from Jack, and I think you'll hear about it soon, but your father's retirement has been cancelled.
What?
He's not letting you take over. Your father will continue working actively. He plans to spend the next 2 years training your brother as a land management and real estate specialist, intending to hand over to him. He told Jack not to worry about anything.
My brother is taking over instead of me? Wasn't I, the eldest son, supposed to inherit my father's business and assets?
That's a family matter for you all. I don't know and I'm not involved. I'm just sorting out my own issues. No matter how much you call me the other woman and claim the woman is your true love, I was the one in the marriage relationship. Anyone can see that she's the other woman. I'm claiming compensation for being deceived and cheated on for 20 years, maybe even longer.
Hold on, I won't pay anything like that!
We can go to court if necessary. Jack said he'd cover the lawyer's fee. He said it's fine because he has money from selling the house.
Why is Jack always on your side?
I wonder why. Maybe you should put your head on your heart and think about it yourself. Anyways, I'm going to consult with the lawyer who specializes in these matters, introduced by an acquaintance. The next time you hear from me, it will probably be through the lawyer.
Wait a minute, I get it. Let's all calm down and talk. Let's have a meal together. Jack, you, me, and her, and discuss this.
There's nothing to discuss. I decline. Now hurry up and pack your things.
Emily, please, we can work this out. There must be some misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding? You've made everything crystal clear when you kicked me out, Robert. There's no room for misunderstandings there.
I was confused. I didn't mean what I said.
Oh, so now you're confused? After 20 years of marriage and planning this all along?
I know I've made mistakes, but can't we talk about this for Jack's sake?
Don't you dare use Jack as an excuse. You've hurt him enough already.
But he's my son. I have rights.
Rights? What about Jack's rights? His rights to choose his future?
The family business is his future.
No, Robert. That was your future. The one you planned without considering anyone else's feelings or desires.
But my father! The company!
Your father seems to understand Jack better than you do. He's supporting Jack's dreams.
This can't be happening. Everything I've worked for.
Maybe you should have worked on being a better husband and father instead of planning to take over the company.
Emily, please, give me another chance. I'll make it up to you and Jack.
It's too late for that, Robert. You've made your decision, and now you have to live with the consequences.
What am I supposed to do now? Where am I supposed to go?
That's not my problem anymore. You wanted me out of your life, remember? Well, congratulations. You got your wish.
But what about my girlfriend? She was supposed to help me with the business.
Oh, so now you're worried about her? Maybe you should call her for help. I'm sure she'd be thrilled to hear about your sudden change in circumstances.
Emily, don't be like this. We've been together for 20 years.
No, Robert. You've been lying to me for 20 years. There's a difference.
Can't we at least talk to Jack together and try to convince him to change his mind?
Jack is an adult now. He makes his own decisions, and he decides he doesn't want anything to do with you or your plans for his life.
But he's throwing away his inheritance.
He's choosing his own path, something you never allowed him to do.
This isn't fair! I've lost everything!
And whose fault is that, Robert? You planned this for 20 years, remember? Well, this is the result of your planning.
I never meant for it to turn out like this!
What did you expect? That you could treat people like pawns in your game and they'd just go along with it?
I thought I was doing what was best for the family.
No, Robert. You were doing what was best for yourself, and now you're facing the consequences.
Please, Emily, help me fix this.
I can't fix this, Robert, and even if I could, I wouldn't. You made your bed. Now lie in it.
What am I supposed to tell my parents, my brother?
The truth may be a good start, though I doubt you even know what that is anymore.
You're being cruel, Emily.
Cruel? You want to talk about cruelty? How about using someone for 20 years and then crossing them aside like garbage?
I said I was sorry.
Sorry doesn't cut it, Robert. Not for this.
So that's it? You're just gonna leave me with nothing?
You left yourself with nothing, Robert. Your choices, your consequences.
I don't know what to do!
For once in your life, Robert, try thinking about someone other than yourself. Maybe start with Jack.
Jack? Do you think he'll ever forgive me?
That's up to Jack, but if I were you, I wouldn't hold my breath.
Can you at least tell him I want to talk?
I'll pass along the message, but it's his choice whether he wants to hear from you or not.
Thank you, Emily. I know I don't deserve your help.
You're right. You don't. Goodbye, Robert.
Goodbye, Emily. I'm sorry for everything.
It's too late for that now, Robert. Much too late.
I understand. I never thought it would end like this.
That's because you never thought about anyone but yourself, Robert. Maybe now you'll have time to reflect on your actions.
Emily, please, just one more chance. I'll do anything.
Anything? How about respecting Jack's decisions? How about facing the consequences of your actions without trying to manipulate everyone around you?
I can try. I will try. Just please don't cut me off completely.
Robert, you cut us off when you decide to treat us like objects in your grand plan. You don't get to decide when and how to be part of our lives anymore.
But what about all the good times we had? Didn't they mean anything?
They meant everything to me, Robert. That's why this hurts so much. But you've made it clear that they mean nothing to you.
It's not true. I got caught up in my ambitions.
Your ambitions cost your family, Robert. I hope it was worth it.
It wasn't. I see that now. Please, Emily, help me make this right.
I can't make this right for you, Robert. Only you can do that, and it starts with respecting Jack's choices and leaving us alone.
I understand. I'll try to do better.
Good. That's a start. Goodbye, Robert.
Goodbye, Emily. Take care of Jack.
I always have, Robert. I always will.